Hey, I'm building a $2 million a year business in public. Last month, I made 170 grand. And the way these videos work are we start with some Q&A where I answer your questions to give you guys immediate value and increase the engagement on this channel. Then I do some growth stats to cover my growth over the last 24 hours. And then finally, I do some live strategy where basically I just work to show you guys what people at this revenue level actually do in order to make more money and stuff. So big, massive win I'd like to share. This won't make sense if you've not already watched a couple of these videos, but we published the best video on record today called Watch Me Start and Sell an AI Service in 10 Hours. We also hit over 1,000 subscriber day today. So I'm going to run you through exactly what all that stuff looks like in the live strategy session. But I just want to let you guys know that we are far ahead schedule. I should be able to hit 100K subs in the next 30 days. It's going to be great. This is the Daily Updates channel. We'll talk more about those wins after I deliver a bunch of quick and easy value. So I'm just going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of this page and answer your guys' questions, all right? Okay, the very first one published a week ago is from Locken Only LEN. They say, hey, Nick, wondering if you got any tips for managing your time when it comes to projects. As someone who's kind of busy. I'm still in high school, and 8 hours in school hours commuting, and I can imagine homework. Follow up. I'm also trying your Loom video cold email approach, finding it difficult to explain to the potential leads what automation truly is. Of course, most of them are very old, not tech savvy. This makes sense. Hey, first of all, congrats on doing this stuff in high school. That's awesome. That's me right here because you are doing this. If I had gotten on the entrepreneurial track in high school, I'd probably be so much further ahead now. It's not even funny. So, reality check for you. You're actually the least busy you will probably ever be in your life. This isn't always true, but for most people, the older that they grow, the more responsibilities they attain. And so you think that you don't have a lot of time right now, but you actually have a ton of time. And so if you can start learning to operate under the constraint of an 8-hour, work day or homework day or whatever you want to call it, now you'll be set up a lot better for the future. It sucks for me to say this, but yeah, back when I was in high school and university, I used to think, oh my goodness, I have no time. The moment I get out of this, I'm going to have all the time. I can do whatever I want. The reality is available time per day, this is a little graph, has just been decreasing almost linearly. We've had a couple of spikes, when I lost my jobs or, I don't know, my business broke or, I don't know, I had like a summer off or something, right? But my available time per day basically has just been going down. So, yeah, tips for managing your time. Just do the most important thing that you need to do first in the morning immediately. So most important thing that I need to do is record content. So what do? I record content first thing in the morning. It is my lead generation mechanism. It's the way I make money. It's the way I build authority, my brand, my trust. So it's the very first thing I do, knock it out. The second I knocked it out, by the end of the hour or maybe 2 hours, I have done more work that drives the needle, that moves the needle, by 8 a.m. or something than most people do in the entire day. This is something that nobody will tell you. 2, you're very young because you're still in high school. One of the biggest issues I think for you is the info hazard of reels. So if you just get in the habit of this right now, my man, avoid all shorts and reels like the plague. I think you're going to be much better off than basically your entire cohort. This stuff is like cancer for your brain. And it's interesting because this is the first generation. Well, maybe not the first generation. I'm pretty young, so I can't really get away with saying shit like that. But, I think we're seeing whereas most other generations over time have just seen increasing levels of, I don't know, like technical fluency, increasing IQ, maybe stable, approximately the same levels of like happiness and stuff like that. This is really the first generation in which we're seeing a massive nosedive in a lot of this stuff, I would say. And I think the vast majority of it is attributable to like short form dopamine, ADHD style. I always say this, and this isn't accurate, and some people yell at me for it, but it's like, Subway Surfer style short content. If you can just avoid that stuff, now you're going to be in a much better position in 5 or 10 years because your brain will not have turned to mush. Hopefully that makes sense. That's probably what I would say. How do I start doing the cold email campaign as a beginner for my automation agency? Thank you very much, Sebastian. Well, luckily for you, I actually published a video on exactly how to do that called Watch Me Start and Sell an AI Service in 10 Hours. By the end of it, I actually have I think 8 or 11 interested leads. And it took me an hour and a half to put together. So that's my recommendation for you. Watch that video. This is probably the highest alpha thing on the internet right now, to be honest. That's what I would recommend. Winners Don't Win says, the content's very high quality, but I must say the titles of these daily videos are very disappointing because they have nothing to do with the actual content. You absolutely did not show anything regarding lead gen approaches here, and it's not the first time. Will make me watch less of these videos in the future. Regardless, I'm going to give you a heart because that is 100% true. The reality is I just don't really have a lot of time, so I will try and come up with a clickbaity title and I'll put it up there. Basically what I do is I just go through and see the questions that I answered, and then if I answered a question about lead gen approaches, then I will put them in there. Also, actually, this specific one here was I was testing out a title format that we were thinking of using for another video. So I feel you, man. It's all good. Sal Kiral Manzara says, hey, Nick, have you released the ideation automation you're using for scraping YouTube comments and Instagram content or topics? Thanks, bro, and congrats on your success. Very inspiring to see live. I did, actually. I did. Yeah, maybe check out leftclicker.gumroad.com and just look for the Instagram automation. And if you can't find it here, I mean, it might be in Maker School. Not entirely sure. Instagram. Oh, this one right here. Yeah, there you go. Got 12 reviews. Give me a 5-star on that thing while you're at it, if you wouldn't mind. DS Jeremy says, hey, Nick, thanks for all the content you put out there. What did you do if you have consistently 0% view rate on proposals on Upwork, but the proposals are highly personalized with Lumidio and with important elements to first sentence to you? Thanks in advance, buddy. I would take a look at the specific one, man. I'm at it. Like, let me roast it for you. I'd love to. Yeah, because it's really tough for me to say. So, okay, one more thing you could try is filter out proposals that have already received 20 plus or more. Filter out job posts that have already received 20 or more proposals. That's a low-hanging fruit. And try and get to jobs within the first couple of hours that they're posted. I'd say that that's really important. If you're applying to a bunch of jobs that have been posted 3 or 4 days ago, law of numbers, right? Most people have already had their needs fulfilled because Upwork's a short-term hiring platform. But if you're applying to jobs that are new, most people are going to be on their computer looking for you. Another thing is very low-hanging fruit. Get the online for messages bubble. On Upwork, what that is that's a little bubble, top left-hand corner of your profile pic. That's just green. And if you don't have this on all the time, you basically lose like 50% of all of the applications that could have been responded to. So when I see results like this, like that's one big thing I'm thinking. Another big thing I'm thinking is you're probably just applying to jobs that are a little old or whatever. So I don't know like how many you've sent. If you've sent like 50 or something, this is valid. If you've sent like 5 or 10 or something, then you just got to send more. And keep in mind that a lot of the people that get back to you will get back to you in like 3 or 5 days. So trying to make these early determinations is a little bit tricky. That's why you basically just have to do it for a week. And that's why in Maker School, all of our retrospectives are weekly. Jordan says, what's going on, man? Hello, Nick. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, fellow Bulgarian. I believe you were a Bulgarian. I have a question about LinkedIn. Today I watched your video where you ranked the different outreach methods and the DMs on LinkedIn. One stood out to me. I think it's a good source of leads, but for that, I believe you need to have a fully developed LinkedIn profile. I have only one case study of mine, and I want to change that apart from engaging with other people. I've been building my connections, but they're mainly other automation builders. What advice would you give me to approach LinkedIn? What exactly to post, like the themes of the content, and how to successfully interact with leads from zero? Thank you, as always, in advance. Continue to crush it, brother. Absolutely. Let's jump on LinkedIn. Let's see how I would do my own. Well, I treat LinkedIn profiles just like Upwork profiles, okay? So this is a website. It's your own personal website. And there are a few areas that you could optimize. Now, is my LinkedIn profile fantastic? No, it's not, because I don't personally use this as an outreach method. I've done it before, but I'm not like the best LinkedIn profile. So if you really want good LinkedIn profiles, there are a lot of other people here that are going to be a lot better, for sure. But I'm at least going to give you my unfiltered thoughts on this, okay? There are a bunch of different areas you could optimize, just like CRO on a website or whatever, right? You have the above the fold, which is everything we're looking at right now. You have the cover photo, okay? You have the profile photo, profile pic. You have the description. Or maybe I should say, I think this is called your headline. Okay. You have your work experience. Okay. You have the number of followers. You have the location. Notice how I'm saying San Francisco. I'm not actually in San Fran, by the way. I'm in Calgary. I was in San Fran when I created this, but since then I've not updated this. Well, but why do I keep this here? If I'm honest, it's because a lot of people that have a lot of money have profiles based out of San Fran. So I just wanted to have a profile based out of San Fran as well. Just pattern match people with a bunch of money. I used to have an office in San Fran, so I kind of like, hack-keyed it this way. Number of connections, obviously that's important. What else you got? Profile language is important, right? I'd set it to English. Public profile URL, I'd probably just grab the first and last name unless you already have it. What other stuff can we optimize right off the bat? I'm just wanting to give you all of the levers that you could pull. You could do the about page, obviously. Top skills, and then featured. This is where you basically get to feature stuff. So this, for instance, would be the Upwork equivalent of like a portfolio. Okay. Activity is important, but I wouldn't make this the end all be all. I would probably post like once per week, and I'd make it a pretty high quality piece of content that would be specific about AI and automation. Okay. And I would just try and get some likes on it. But so long as you have some consistent level of activity, you're probably good. Experience is going to be important. Okay. So, I mean, in my case, there's no I don't have a company called Maker School. So what I've done is I've affiliated myself with school, which makes it seem like I work at school, which I don't really, but whatever. And then I said founder Maker School title. And then I do a little description. And this is what I'm currently doing, which is what appears in my headline. So I get the perceived, a perceived association with this big logo that a lot of people are familiar with. And then I just fill out every other profile field. Licenses, certs, Upwork has that too, right? Skills, Upwork has that too. Recommendations, these are like reviews, Upwork has that too. Honors and awards, my little scholarship back at university. Languages, interests, causes, right? So yeah, I guess my recommendation for you would be first of all, number one, fill everything out. So like everything. That's the lowest hanging fruit. For the cover photo, get something well designed. You can get something off Canva really simply and easily. It just makes it seem like you put a little bit of effort into it. I designed this myself. It's like some rainbow in the upper atmosphere, and I use that as the backdrop with like the main value prop here, and then I added my name up here, and I did some button. I did some other BS, and that's not super important. For profile pic, I just make sure like your face is easily visible. I did the same thing here that I do on Upwork, right? I cropped out the background, made it white, and then I added a little bit of shadow to it, and I'm smiling looking at the camera. The headline is really important. So I think here you could probably have some specific pitch. Like in my case, the main thing I'm advertising is out the founder at Maker School. And the Maker School is the straightest line path to building and scaling your automation agency. This is the first thing people see when they kind of thumb over my profile. So I'm getting a bunch of free views of Maker School while I do it, right? So, definitely have some sort of value prop. What are you doing? So get the niche that you're in. So I don't know, let's say you're in HVAC or something. I might legitimately go, scaling HVAC companies through blank, or adding $53,825 per month, and then in brackets, average to HVAC companies using automation, or some sort of very short pitch that you would, basically have in the DM anyway, just so everything is congruent. For the about, I think you could probably optimize it way better than me. This is basically like a mini above the fold sort of thing, right? I think you only see up to about here. So realistically, what should I probably have said? Hi, I'm Nick. I teach over 75,000 people or 80,000 people, 78,000 people on YouTube how to do X, Y, and Z. I also run a community, the third biggest community on school or something. That's probably what I should actually change that up to. Why don't I do that right now? That'd be kind of informative. Hi, I'm Nick. I teach, by the time, probably going to be at like 80,000 tomorrow. Can I just say 80,000? No, I shouldn't. I should say 79,000 people on YouTube, how to business processes, and have the fourth largest school community and founded the fourth largest school community by revenue. Okay. I've helped dozens of 8 and 9-figure companies weave into their operations. Big companies. Cool. Save. Awesome. All right. So now this is a little bit sexier, right? It's like, oh, wow, this guy's got a giant wiener, essentially. Teach 79,000 people on YouTube and over 100,000 people on Instagram. How do I processes? Okay. That's probably a little bit better. So I might have something like this. Get like the biggest stuff that you could slap on the table, okay? Then add that there. And yeah, I think that's an 80-20, man. I wouldn't sweat it too much. Just make sure it's like reasonably pretty. Turk says, good, whatever you're at. Thank you. Just a quick one. When you get some projects done, what's the best way to present them in a portfolio? E.g., if I want to use them on Upwork or Cold Outreach, keep it up, man. You're going places. Here's what I would do. I would pitch this as I drove outcome for a business using, implementation. Here's the formula that I recommend. So I added $53,505 in revenue for a B2B SaaS company using an automated CRM, or maybe like, I don't know, lead generation system. Just activated my Siri. Please be quiet. Something like that. Or I saved $19,345 for an SF, AI company using via an automated expense tracking system or something. That's how I do it. So the reason why we do this is because the outcome is the most important to businesses. We speak in dollar terms because dollar values are the universal language that all business owners understand. Then after that, we obviously outline the specific sort of business because that's relevant to the people that are going to be reading this before finally doing how we did it. But notice how the how we did it is pretty vague and it's really not that important. Most customers don't actually care too much about how you do it as long as you can do the thing. You know what I mean? So the how is obviously your job. You don't need to tell them everything about it. Okay, Bilal says, can you tell us more about the Make Money with Make School community, your other one? It was yearly payment before, but now since the price has gone up, is it still annual payment or monthly? The showcase video you did on School for the pricing isn't updated. You're so right about that. Sorry, man. Thank you. Update, Make Money with Make VSL. There you go. Yeah, 100%, 100%. It's like a premier automation community, essentially. To make a long story short, Maker School is a 0 to 1, where we put a daily accountability roadmap in front of you with like a bunch of step-by-step, day-by-day things that you accomplish. Then you follow that roadmap, and by the end of the 90 days, we guarantee that you get your first client using our methods, essentially. So it's very simple. It's very straightforward. It's mostly about lead gen. It's mostly about, doing the day-by-day stuff. Make Money with Make, I'm positioning this now as my premier automation community, where we focus on scaling things that work from 1, let's say, to 100. So if you already have an established business, if you've already got a little bit of success with AI and automation, maybe you're at a $5,000 a month business. I basically show you how to take that $5,000 a month business, scale it to $25K a month and beyond. That's the idea. So in order to increase churn, because I actually have to increase churn because nobody wants to leave the community, which is an awesome problem to have, right? But I also want new faces in there. I've changed the pricing from annual only back to monthly, but the monthly is a lot higher of a number. I think it's $350 or $360 a month right now. I'm going to continue increasing this until I can balance new member signups with the churn, basically. So that's how that works. And I haven't actually updated it. You're right. So thank you very much for letting me know. So you could tell I fly by the seat of my pants with most of that stuff. So yeah. All right. Oscar says, dude, I just discovered your channels. Thanks so much for the value, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Oscar. I'm actually trying to figure out how to apply this methodology to fat loss coaching business. How do you use cold email and upward look for people that want to lose weight? This one's tough, my man. You're doing B2C here. So B2C is really tough. I actually basically only pitch B2B for this specific reason. B2C, like lead sourcing, is just a massive pain in my ass. I don't really do B2C lead sourcing. So what might I do? I would turn this from a B2C problem into a B2B problem. Maybe instead of offering things to like the average Joe trying to lose weight, I would niche down into some sort of corporate executive, and then I would just reach out to corporate executives or something. That's probably what I would do. Because the second you change it from a B2C problem to a B2B problem, it's so much easier to scale. So yeah, cold email, I'd probably go on Apollo and type in some corporate executive thing, change my pitch to I help corporate executives lose XYZ pounds in whatever time. It's hard for you to guarantee this, which is tricky and why I'm not a fat loss coach, but have some sort of thing thrown in there. Upwork, I don't think you're really going to be able to do it on Upwork, unfortunately. But you could do it through cold email as long as you like focus on a B2B audience. Okay, greetings from Mexico. I challenge you to tell me how you do this with 100 pesos mexicanos, which is 5 USD, LOL. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I would just focus entirely on like Loom videos and social media outreach. So outreach via DMs. Because if you try and get into any sort of automated like email, it's going to cost more money, unfortunately. Sorry. We got a lot of people pitching at me. Andrew Lewis, 2263 says he made 170K last month and almost all of it came from teaching everyone else how to make 170K per month. I do not promise people 170K per month. I hope it is clear. This is a very particular business model, the info product and coaching space that I'm not teaching people how to do. I'm teaching people how to do a different business model, which is the AI and automation agency business model, which I had a fair amount of success with year and a half ago, where I scaled to a number that most people couldn't realistically reach, $72,000 a month. And since then, I've just been teaching people how to achieve, steps on that, rungs on that ladder up to $72,000 per month. But I'm not teaching people how to make more money than I ever achieved with that business model. To be abundantly clear, the reason why I've switched to info products and coaching is just because it's the same thing that I always talk about. If there's a button that you press and it gives you $1 every time you press it, and there's another button that you press that gives you $2 every time you press it, why wouldn't I press the button that gives me $2, right? So there are a lot of coaches and consultants that will start pressing the $2 button and they will never, ever again press the $1 button. What that means is they shift their business models entirely to coaching and consulting. I don't think this is optimal because you actually lose touch with the business that you are teaching people. And if you can no longer execute on the thing that you are teaching people, then you have no idea what the hell you're doing. Obviously, your coaching and community offer is soon going to fall out of date. So I like to think that I'm probably one of the only people that actually does the thing that I am talking about while also teaching the thing. I understand why you think this, and I get it. And I'm very skeptical about coaching offers and stuff like that as well. So I'm still going to give this a heart. But if you want a much more detailed breakdown of why I'm doing what I'm doing and how, you might be able to look at businesses a little bit differently, like in terms of like short-term revenue versus long-term scalability and the various trade-offs therein. I recorded a video specifically for you, Mr. Andrew Lewis 2263, right over here, info products versus agencies in 2025. So give that a look. I explain this in a lot more detail, to be honest. And I appreciate everybody here, shouting me out and stuff. Don't sweat it. This is a very common concern. It's no big deal. Okay. We got another question from Lock and Only Ian. He says, I'm 17. I'm in learning your systems, and what I'd like to get a peek into is your project management. I know you spoke about always getting leads. What about people that have that much time a day, for example, on school and social life? I spend up to 16 hours per day. Things like how many clients, when, fulfill, and please, is there any other way I can contact you? I'm sorry, my man. If I, just let everybody ask me private DMs, it would not be very scalable. I don't fully understand what you're asking for. Yeah. Sounds like, I know that you were pretty young, still in high school. You're saying you spend 16 hours per day on high school stuff. First of all, you don't need to be spending 16 hours a day on high school stuff. Let me tell you a story. My last year at college, I skipped like 99% of my classes. I was taking one class, psychopharmacology. It's psychology 383 or something, I believe. And I had an awesome teacher, Evan something. I love the guy. The whole course was incredible. I showed up probably a combined 2 hours for the entire semester. There was over 52 hours of instruction, and I showed up for 2 hours. I showed up for 1 hour for the midterm and then 1 hour for the final exam. Why? Because I didn't want to I didn't want to go for a 3-hour lecture and just have to deal with all the BS of getting there and coming back. So I guess the point I'm making is like the whole point of process optimization is just identifying the things in the process that are actually valuable and important. And in my case, the way the class was structured, you could basically get everything you need online from the comfort of my own home and my boxers. So I just did not go. Am I recommending you skip school? No, but there are definitely more effective and efficient ways of you accomplishing the goal of finishing high school or whatever than spending 16 hours a day on it. All right. So I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't really think it, super valuable going into any more depth there. Sham Mindset says, what automations did you do for real estate brokers? I actually just launched a campaign the other day on this. So let me show you. Okay, Cloudflare. Come on, bro. Let's go. Chop, chop. I would do, so I just paused these three because I didn't want to send more out before I did a little bit of optimization. So one system you could do right now for real estate brokers is like a B2C outreach system, where basically you offer to buy people's homes. You need a pre-existing list. That's the first one. This next one is a custom AI follow-up system that nurtures old leads on both the buy side and sell side. This is basically the real estate agent gives you their CRM. Most real estate agencies have like pretty run-of-the-mill CRMs. Ideally, you'd have one that like allows you to pull by webhook or like an API, okay? Then what you do is just every every week or month or year, or really every day, but every week, month, or year, you iterate through every single contact, okay? And then you send them something. You send them some follow-up. So very simple, and a lot of these real estate companies have this built in. Unfortunately, the way that they do the follow-ups just looks super templated, super uncustomized, and just makes you look like some dude that's treating them like a dollar sign. So you can actually go much further than this, just customizing your follow-ups. Instead of it being like, hello, Peter. Thank you so much for purchasing a home with us last year. I just wanted to extend my earnest smile appreciation for you and blah, 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 blah. Looking forward to working with you again, right? Instead of that, you actually just like schedule an SMS or something that goes like, hey, Peter, hope you're settling in really well in that place in neighborhood. You can have AI generate like a one-line icebreaker to do that thing for you. Just wanted to check in, make sure that everything's going okay with your new home, right? Stuff like that is a lot more perceivably high value, and then you buy a lot more goodwill from your clients and whatnot. So you can implement that today, and I think that's a really valuable system that you could sell. Okay, I'm just gonna do a couple more here. Leo says, love the content, really want to join Maker School. Just want to know how much I'd need for softwares and do you use Go high level? I don't personally use GHL anymore. I did a bunch of builds. Yeah, for sure. Okay, how much do you need for software? I think the cheapest thing is like, it's 37 bucks a month. Okay, so first of all, it's all up to you. You can spend as much money on the software as you want, right? But I'll show you like the cheap stack. Cheap inboxes is $3 per mailbox. So it's like, how many do you want really? You know, if each sends 20 to 30 emails a day, if you get 5, you're spending 15 bucks a month. Then you also got to buy the domains, which I think is 2 domains each for this, which is going to be 30 bucks a year. So 30 bucks divided by 12 is 2.5. So your end cost ends up being 17.5 a month for mailboxes if you amortize the cost. And then instantly is like cheapest plan, 37 bucks a month. So this plus 37, I think 37. It's 39. No, I think it's 37 is $54.5 per month now. And then if you add some leads, this will let you send 150 leads a day. So 75 times 26 is, oh boy, my math is not good enough to do that in my head, but I like trying. 1950 leads. So you're going to need to scrape, let's say like 4,000 leads a month. 4,000 leads times $1.20 per 1,000 leads is $4.80. If you take that up here, the total cost of this is going to be like 59.3 per month. Yeah, that's how much you do for the email outreach. Okay, then Upwork and whatnot, entirely up to you because you control how much you bid. I got to be honest. It ends up being usually about like 10 connects per app nowadays. 10 connects per app means that you are, I'm writing at an angle, I don't like that, times like $1.50. I'm writing it even more of an angle now. Sorry, guys. Okay, can I just rotate this? Yes, you can. All right, that looks really weird. Oops, sorry, guys. Where the hell am I? Okay, what am I trying to do here? Anyway, you end up spending about $1.50 per app plus the boost. And the boost gets refunded if nobody interacts with your profile. So I say it's about $3 an app usually. So I don't know, man. Totally depends. You want to send 1 app a day, it's $3 a day. You want to send 10 apps a day, $30 a day, right? Upwork is definitely the most, the simplest one to start with though, because you can invest for like 3 days. You could send out like 30 apps, which is $90, but then you get money back basically immediately, which is nice. The second somebody chooses to work with you instantly and stuff, you're buying for the whole month, right? You're not doing it on like a one-time basis. All right. How would AI work writing in Swedish, very small language compared to Spanish or French? Is it worth looking into or just keep to the English market? Hey, Michael. Hey, what's going on, Michael? Michael's in Maker School. Great seeing you, my brother. Yeah, no, I think that's great. I actually recommend people try their native languages. I remember Matt, this guy in Make Money with Make, once ran a campaign in the Netherlands, and he just took an email template that worked really well outside of the Netherlands, pitched a bunch of people inside of the Netherlands. I think he got like 30 booked appointments or something in like a week. It was crazy. So yeah, I mean, these other languages are underserved because the vast majority of people that do this sort of stuff do the approaches in English because they are English or they watch videos like mine that are in English. So yeah, man, 100%. Very competitive, simple advantage you can get is legitimately just, translating stuff to another language and pitching it there. Holy crap, did I just do 30 minutes of Q&A? Oof, man, I really gotta slow down on that stuff. Shit, I could do this all day, couldn't I? Maybe one day I should. Everybody says, Nick, eventually you're going to run out of time to do all of the questions. What if I just never did? What if literally I just like glued my brain into the machine? That'd be awesome. All right. Anyway, let's just do some brand stats here and then maybe I'll wrap it up. I know it's a really long video. I need a timer. You know what? We're doing a timer tomorrow. That's what we're doing. We are doing a timer tomorrow. 100% jumping on a timer. Gonna say 15 minutes. The second I get to 15 minutes, I'm gonna stop. Okay, so current subs on my main channel are 78,840. We got 1,132. Biggest day on record. Awesome, man. That's a rock. Straight to the moon we're going. 1.5% growth. Insane. Wow, does that overshoot everything that I thought I would get? I need to somehow get My Instagram followers, real time. I think it's this one. I think I'm just going to pin this somewhere to my browser. This one's at 108,659 now. This one actually grew less than my YouTube. That's crazy. And then my daily updates channel has just hit 4,021, it looks like, just now. Thank you to whoever just subscribed. Maybe you're going to watch this video. So we've had almost 100 people growing. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, well, anyway, let me see. What am I doing? Looks like I just added a new task, which is that I got to update the Make Money with Make VSL. Got to start sending cold emails with asset links. I got to fix the left-click header and add open a new tab to YouTube. Then I got to change some things, offset resources. Some guy in MakerScore reached out to me and said, hey, you could optimize your website a little bit because it's currently not working. Oh, I got to record a video for Santi's 12K lead. Okay. Re-record the day 8 video with Apollo, Apify, and Lead Magic. Outline 25K a month agency. Outline agency hot seat structure plus schedule first 3 guests. And I'll create a larger WAP creator reward. Re-record, pre-program, and month 1 on MakerSchool. Yeah, I want to do that. I just keep on running out of time. I really want to add 2024 and 2025 to my biography already because people like the biography. Get month 1 retrospective, upload in the right place. Ooh, I don't even have that. So, oh, yeah. Serendipity networking campaign, which I've been dragging my feet on. Email Alex Hormozy. I want to get in touch with Mr. Hormozy. I think that I have a lot of value that I could provide to him. I got to respond to Prince Khaled. One of the, I believe the Saudi princes reached out, or the company that the Saudi prince operates reached out to me for help with Slack or something. And then you know what? I completely lost track of time and I haven't responded to him in like a week and a half or something. I feel really bad for it and I don't know if I'm going to get that lead, but might as well respond to him. Knowing some princes is always cool. So if you guys like this sort of stuff, check out MakerSchool, 0 to 1 accountability roadmap. I'm just going to go do a bunch of work. I don't want this to be an hour-long video because the metrics aren't showing that those do very well. But yeah, I'm just going to go dive right into it, hopefully bang out a bunch of these to-dos. If you guys maybe want more scalable and standardized mechanisms by which you can grow your already winning business, whether it's an AI automation or something else, check out Make Money with Make as well. We're quickly approaching the 500 cap. Want to express my heartfelt thank you to everybody that has watched all the way to the end. It means a lot. And I'm looking forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. Thank you very much. Have a lovely rest.